Just going to start with a PJ pick of a VR game that I've played called Zero Caliber.
Of which I have heard, and heard good things, but
I know
don't
you've
even know
heard of it because it's on your Steam wish list. Because every time I start it, I'm like, I see your name. So Zero Caliber, and we do have a link I'll share in the show notes of some of my gameplay on it. Zero Caliber is a military shooter. The neat thing about it is it's a 4-player co-op, and there's a whole campaign that you can play through co-op and whatnot. And it's pretty neat. It's still air quotes early access, but I think I've had it for a year now, and they just updated it again or they just did a big content update in December was the last time they did a big update. And the graphics were really improved, and they were pretty good to start with.
So the early access games, my pet peeve is, they just try to milk money while early access because you can't get your money back.
Mhm.
So when you say they're adding content, which is good, but they're improving the game as they go.
Yeah, they actually have a roadmap, and I'm not excusing early access shenanigans because I don't like that stuff either. But in VR, it actually seems more like people actually use it more to actually build the game, which is understandable because it's more expensive.
I think the people that are looking for the easy money to do that with, they probably aren't looking to get into the new VR technology. Like there's a not a hurdle really, but there's a learning curve, I'm sure, and they're just like, we can steal money from other things. Star Citizen, we can steal money from other things.
Yeah. So I've kickstarted a few games, and early access games I've learned to kind of look if they have a roadmap, and like if they have early access, like not early access, but if they have like an alpha to try or beta, and I'll try it, and then I'll either back them or I'll buy the game in early access. If they at least have a roadmap, it's kind of nice to see, because most games, like console games, don't really share that info. So
Yep.
and companies actually, for VR, like the startup companies, actually kind of have a tracker, because even if they've done a game or two, they still kind of go that route just because it is so expensive. So it's kind of easy to at least look at their last game and, okay, did you kind of keep your word, or add stuff like you should have, type of thing. So, but since I've been playing this game, they have updated it, not monthly, I would say, but pretty close to like maybe bi-monthly. So
I mean, bug fixes and content, it takes a while to develop, so
yeah,
as long as it's not like 9 months before they just make that, been a while, life got busy, deleted.
Sorry. Another thing I look for is if they're really active in their chat, either if they have a Discord or like on Steam, they can update stuff, because you can clearly tell games like the game we always mention, Elven Archer, which is not in early access, but it kind of feels like they're going, like they have said they're going to add more, but that's all we've heard, and that game's been out almost 2 years now, and there's still only one like multiplayer map. So it's like, still a great game, but it's like I just want more. So anyway, back to Zero Caliber. Yeah, there's a full-blown campaign, and they even added another map to it, and it's 4-player co-op throughout. And the thing I love about this game is there's always fucking enemies to shoot. There are just tons of them.
Nice.
I haven't been able to tell, but I think like if you're just starting out on the map, you have to kind of push forward, almost like if you think about a game of football for whatever reason. You kind of have to just kind of keep pushing forward. If you just stand in one spot, I don't think they ever stop coming, which is actually pretty neat. So if you watch the video I'm sharing with this, it just seems like it's like a half-hour video. It isn't that long, but it just seems like I'm just standing in one spot shooting, but I'm slowly just moving up because the AI is pretty good, and it'll kick your ass. So it's pretty rough. So I enjoy it a lot. I haven't played co-op with anybody, but you get some AI members, and they'll kind of help you out a little bit.
Just kidding.
I wasn't pointing my finger.
I can't tell. I'm not video chatting.
But yeah, it's really neat. The graphics are pretty good. I have encountered a bug here or there, like there was a gun tower. I climbed the ladder, which was, I like how you can just climb in VR and stuff. I get to the top, and it would just, for whatever reason, throw me back down the ladder once or twice. And you can carry a couple different weapons and loadouts and stuff. And every once in a while, and this was before the last update, so maybe they fixed a lot of this. But like, I'd try and pick up a gun from the ground, because you can pick up any gun from enemies that if you kill them, you can pick up their gun, which I love. So, but overall, I think the normal price is $25. It's great.
Not bad,
and it's on Steam, and it's on Oculus. There's 2 different versions. But yeah, it's pretty neat. The dialogue, I can't tell if I like it or if I hate it. It's really cheesy and bad, but for just an action-y game, I kind of appreciate that. It's not like Ubisoft bad, but it's still like, at one point this one guy said something like, "We're gonna cheese dick our way through this mission" and stuff.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's somewhat comical. So
when we rag on Ubisoft dialogue, I don't know if listeners have found the trend, but like you go into was it Far Cry 5? I think there's like a prison camper walking by, and it just like honks this message over there, and then it's just like this dystopian worst ripped out of some novel some kid wrote in his basement, and it's just like they have what was it, Division 2 has like fantastic soundtrack, and the dialogue's not as bad in those games, but there's help me out here, what other games have we like picked
Ghost Recon?
Yeah, Ghost Recon, perfect. That's the one. Like you're just walking by, and they're like the only line I ever liked was in Wildlands and Breakpoint are the 2 more recent ones for that, and like they said something about Diddy Mao, and then there was like in Baby Makes 3 when you're like marking targets. Those things are priceless, but then usually they're just like one of the other Ghost Recons, I think, when was that? Came out probably 5-6 years ago. It was in between like Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2, which we loved, and the new ones, and it was just sort of like we wanted to make a slow down action fast-paced game. Like what? So like in the game that you could just sit there and hide in the bushes and shoot people and take a 30-minute sniper run, they were like running, and it was just run and gun. It was terrible. In the campaign, they had like these guys, like the tough military, strong American dudes with beards, and they're talking about pickups and look at this pickup. He's like pointing at a magazine. Look at this pickup and a Hemi and the 18 tires and shit. And the other guy's like, "Man, what are you gonna do with the pickup?" And he's like, "I can drive around and fine." Like it was just like, holy shit, what kind of character crap or caricature crap? Like, do you guys just think people like kids want to hear like when they play this shit? It's terrible. So
yeah,
I can appreciate bad dialogue in the form that it's fun, because like if action games have, I don't know, some of the mid to later Fast and Furious kind of dialogue, like you'd never turn your back on family even when they do. Like it's cheesy, but it works for an action movie. Like it's cool. And
yeah,
cheese dicking your way through a mission, I can, because I've had people say that in party chat on like Warcraft and other MMOs, like could cheese dick our way through the missions. That's kind of fun. But sorry to go on a tirade there, but I'm picky about games.
So anyway, this game's really neat. It has a lot of weapons. They keep adding weapons as well. A lot of accessories. You can choose your loadouts and save them. There's a whole like gun shop and range before you even go anywhere that you can go through. You can pick out kind of your outfit, your sidearms, and like grenades. Like there's a whole slew. Like, but they have, I call it a gun shop because they actually have aisles of stuff, and it's nuts. Like
Matrix racks.
kind of, but it is like a shop almost, and there's a gun range attached to it. But it's a pretty neat game. The AI is pretty good. Like they'll pin you down if you let them. And every once in a while you come across just like a big machine gun, that like a light machine gun mounted somewhere that you can load and just unload on the rest of the remaining guys. But I think in this video towards the middle, maybe it's either the middle or the end, but I bust my way out of some kind of camp and I get into a helicopter, and I'm shooting. I'm still in first person, because you never leave first person. You don't do vehicles or anything. But I got in the helicopter and I'm shooting out the windows and then onto the back while the rest of my team gets in the helicopter, and then the helicopter flies out of the map and you're shooting the whole time. It's just like non-stop action and it's pretty fun. So
looks fun. Been having the video up, just watching the video while you're talking of it, and we're making fun of dialogue, and it doesn't look like AAA graphics. It's not bad. It just looks like something from Xbox 360, the later days of Xbox 360, which I've stared at that for hours.
But like we always say in VR, the graphics aren't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice when they're amazing, but they don't have to be.
Yeah,
like the video you're watching is probably literally 4 times better than when I first started the game. Like, it was pretty geometry. I'm not
low poly.
Yeah, I was gonna say something else, but yeah,
geometrically challenged.
Yeah, it was not good. It was still fun, but now it's even like I fired that up after the other. I'm like, holy crap! So good on them.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, like in VR, when you're staring at a TV, your brain is like judging every pixel, because like in life, you know, you're only focusing on like the circle in front of you, and your peripheral vision, you know, your brain is just piecing shit together. So someday maybe we'll have a game where, you know, it knows like the eye is not focused on this, so load it at, you know, 25% and blur it a little, and they won't even fucking know. But when you're in VR and you're spinning around and stuff like that, it's seriously, you know, the graphics on the side. I mean, it's this, you would, if the lighting was a little better and like a little more darker, it would look like a freaking movie.
Yeah. And again, like, I'm not going to list my PC specs every time, but you need a decent computer. I mean, I have a pretty nice setup, but even like beforehand, when I first got into VR, I had just a decent, like, average computer, and it ran this game at the time.
It was old when we first bought it. I think you just upgraded the same PC, but when did you build, when we, in like the November we bought it all?
I had that computer since I built it from scratch when that Star Wars RPG came out, like
it's 2011.
2011, yeah.
Yeah. So yep. So you can run it, and I think Oculus and maybe it's Steam, they have I forgot the technology that it like speeds up the frames to make lower computers work, and I'm sure it's not the greatest, but you don't need a $3,000 computer to play it. I usually try to stay between $700 and $1,300 to build one. You can definitely cheap out on it if you want. You pay for it in a little bit of graphical quality, I'm sure, but it like you're just running by. You don't need to be running through the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So
yeah, check out Zero Caliber on any headset, any PC VR headset. They're looking to add a PvP mode. They said is coming pretty soon, so that might be interesting.
Yeah.
But the sound is great. The graphics are good. Like when you're getting shot at, it makes you duck and take cover, so it's pretty fun. I
got to a point in your video just before halfway through, just at 11 minutes, and you're like reloading. I don't know what gun that is, but you're reloading it, and then like as you reload it, the gun like is going off in your hand. I don't know if you just had your hand on the trigger, and it looks so real, because that's what would happen in that situation if I was doing it personally, because I'd be like, you know, just shit, like, you know, the gun just takes off like a fire hose and shit like that.
Yeah, that cut me some slack with that video, because like I said, it was right after the update came out, and I didn't notice. I just saw it today for the first time. They said even if you've played this game from the start of it, redo the tutorial because we've changed things. So when I got back into it, I didn't notice that part of it, and I'm like, this is how the hell I remember how to load a gun, like, and then it just went off.
Yeah, it's funny.
It scared the crap out of me.
It looks good, and two things about what you were saying before. I appreciate when games have tons of people, because like, I don't know if it's just computational limits why things have bullet sponges. Maybe it's more satisfying to put 4 clips in a guy, but maybe you have less enemies on the screen, so it's got to take you longer to kill them to balance it out. You just thumbs it up yourself. You're like, yeah, I reloaded. This is awesome. You guys got to watch this video. Listen, it's funny. That was a 12:20 or so. But yeah, I like to have a lot of guys because I just want to walk through and everyone wants to be in the action movies. You know, if I throw a knife at someone, I want that to fucking kill them quietly. You know, like it just if you hit them, and sometimes you know if you fuck up where you throw it, I want it to like make noise. Like, oh, got to do that better next time.
Yeah. On the other hand of that is having a lot of enemies. If you are playing co-op, everyone's got that one Rambo friend that just thinks they have to kill every guy on the map, and it's like, no. Everyone here wants to kill some people.
Yep. And I've had people that always calls back to Destiny, the first Destiny, playing with someone. They're like, you know, I'd like to shoot something too. You got to slow down. I'm just sitting there like, oh yeah, I don't know what the Hunter was. It had the throwing knives and the handgun. I'm sitting there like, but headshots are fun. I can't stop. So I like having the more people. You had made a point. I was going to make 2 points, and now I've lost one of them. It was about having tons of people and something else. We'll come back to it. Yeah, the game looks fantastic. Just throwing lead at countless people. There's a helicopter that shows up. That looks good too. So yeah, we need to pick a day, and I'll probably snag it and play with you.
Yeah, it's like I said, normal price right now is in early access, but I don't think it'll ever go up. Is $25. But I've seen it on sale on both platforms for probably between 15 and 20, at least more than once. So just keep an eye out on it.
You jumped on the back of a flying China double prop chopper. It's well worth the 25. So don't, unless you're hurting for cash more than some starving, indie developers, maybe wait. But these games are tough to fucking make, and this one looks like they've been slaving away at it. Because right now, in the lighting I'm seeing in the game, there's like smoke from the chopper inside some prison yard, and the prison lights are shining on the walls. It looks really good.
Yeah. Another thing that got me excited, I was re-looking at it again today on their site, and I just said this a week or two ago. I want a freaking riot shield in a game, and they have one. I haven't seen it yet, so I think maybe they just added it, but now I'm doubly excited to play.
Yeah, the tactical feel of that stuff. So Division 2, it was funny, our nephew got that game, and we played it a few times, and he shows up and he's got the same riot shield, the Crusader or whatever, where you can use a full assault rifle with it, and I'm like, riot shield's tactical. Just cool.
Again, I'll share that link in the show notes. Otherwise, it'll be on our YouTube channel, VR Verdict. Check it out. A lot of videos there.
I don't know if this will happen, but maybe you should put the audio of this over the top of that and put it up. People can watch that while they're talking about it, because that's a good video.
Yeah, and I'm kind of new to streaming, so I streamed for the first time recording my mic as well as playing a different game last week. So I'm going to start doing that more. So you'll probably hear me scream like a little girl here and there and react.
Don't hold back. Don't hold back. That's the fun part.
So, yeah, check it out.